Hello everyone, I am Heather and I thank you for joining me for this video today. Hopefully if you are watching this video, you are a fan of Walt Disney World or interested in Walt Disney World. I make videos about the Disney parks, I make videos about cruises, I make videos about weekend getaways, international travel, all of it. So if you are interested in travel content, please be sure that you're subscribed to my channel. Today's video is one of the last in a series of vlog rewatches from our trip to Walt Disney World in March of 2019. If you've been watching my channel for a while, I have been making a series of videos where we go back and rewatch one of my vlogs from a previous pre-pandemic vacation. And I've been doing these videos, not all of them, but a select number of vlogs from our Walt Disney World trip in March of 2019. The video that we're going to be watching today is where the kids and I took a walk from our room in the 90s building of Pop Century Resort over to Art of Animation Resort. We wanted to see what that walk was like because those resorts are actually very close together. And we wanted to get a look at Art of Animation, which we had never been to before. This was just prior to the Disney Skyliner opening. And so you'll see in this video that the Disney Skyliner is not open yet. And I talk about that in the video. After today, I will have one more vlog rewatch from our Walt Disney World trip in March of 2019. So again, be sure you're subscribed so you don't miss any upcoming videos. Okay, let's watch this video together. All right, we're doing something a little different this morning. We just came out of our building, the 90s building, the big computer on the front, and we're gonna walk over here. Oh no, well, I guess we have to get around the pool. We're gonna walk over here and see. We're gonna take a walk over to Art of Animation. It's something reflecting. It's those words, Megan. I kept saying reflecting. I don't know why. I could not think of the word shadow to save my life. That's especially funny because my son Ben's very successful YouTube channel is Shadow Star Plays. Go check it out if you haven't already. It's shadow. It was casting a shadow, and I say reflection like 5 times, and obviously that's not what that was. Whatever. Surf the Net is reflecting on the side of the back of the laundry pool building. Okay, so here's the 80s building, big Rubik's Cube. We have not used the pool and we probably won't, right guys? No. We never did use the pool. Actually, never used a Walt Disney World Resort pool when I've stayed there. Unless I might have gone in the pool at Caribbean Beach Resort when I stayed there with my dad and my boyfriend when I was 19 years old, but I don't remember. And otherwise, we have never used the pool, which is really disappointing. I'm especially disappointed that we didn't get to use Stormalong Bay at Yacht and Beach Club when we stayed at Yacht Club in 2009. But 2 things. 1, it was way too cold. And 2, the entire pool complex was closed for refurbishment. Nope, no plans. It's been windy. It's very nice and sunny today. This one's got Pac-Man. But, I think getting out, you'd freeze. And we just have other things we want to do. There are life jackets there if you see for little ones. So this is actually, this section of buildings is actually 2 80s buildings and the 90s building. And I'm starting this, basically 11:30 we left. Look at all the carts. I see 1, 2, 3, 4. They're like golf cart style carts that they use for everything around the resorts. The 2 main things they use them for are housekeeping and maintenance. But when we filmed this video, a lot of people had gone to the parks for the day already. And like I mentioned, since we've never used the pools, we've never actually had a resort day where we've stayed at a resort all day to see what it's like. And one of the things that really struck me, and you'll see it coming up, is all those carts zooming around the resort makes it really, really noisy. And so if you did stay at your resort all day and you wanted to sleep really late or you wanted to take a nap or something, that might be challenging with all of these carts running around. Get to the end of the 80s buildings, and this is the 70s buildings over here by Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head. Then you see the lake. I'm a little disappointed that we didn't get a lake view. I was really hoping to be closer to the water because that's just pretty, but I guess, you know, where we are is pretty quiet. Here's Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head.
Hey, same color.
There's a mood ring. But it's really pretty. So, for reference, we made 2 requests. We requested water view, a lake view, which we did not get. And we requested a high floor, which we did get. There's all these like facts along the sidewalks here about the decades. We walked through there when we came the first day through the 70s buildings. This is a big, oh, it's like it's an 8-track. An 8-track, you guys don't even know what that is. It's kind of what there was before cassettes. After records, but before cassettes. And that's Art of Animation over there. And you can see the car section is straight across there. Finding Nemo's there in the middle.
Danger, alligators and snakes in area.
Oh.
Stay away from the water. Do not feed the wildlife.
Yeah, they'll come right up here. Who would feed an alligator? I remember that. This is actually a very pleasant, pretty walk. A little boy, if you are not aware, actually did die at Walt Disney World property at the Grand Floridian Resort. It was around the same time as this, or slightly before or after, and that was very tragic and sad. And because of that, Walt Disney World actually put up roping around the places where people didn't understand that you can't swim in these lakes. You can't go in these lakes. They're not meant for that. And there are alligators in pretty much every body of water in Florida. So you just always need to assume that there's alligators there. Another thing, that sign that I read real quick there, if you didn't see it, was about 3 Mile Island and the nuclear accident that was there. My dad actually took me to see 3 Mile Island. We didn't go to the nuclear plant, but we stood like across the river and looked at it when I was younger. It's in Pennsylvania. And then if you're not aware about the history of Pop Century and Art of Animation, these 2 resorts and all of the all-star resorts are all kind of the same style and design. And really what they are is they're basically like concrete cinder block motels with a bunch of colorful decorating stuck to the outside of them and nice theming inside the rooms. But they are very small rooms, and they really are just like motels where you have outside corridors and outside doors. They're all the same height. They're all the same layout. If you look at them from up above, you can see that they're all of those resorts are all kind of the same buildings. And this one, the combined Pop Century and Art of Animation, was originally not supposed to be like this. It was supposed to be something with the decades. And the Pop Century side, which it wasn't originally going to be called that. If anybody remembers what the name was going to be for the whole thing, put it down below because I can't remember right now. Something about decades. This side was done, the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and I kind of feel like they tacked on the 90s at the end because it took that long to do it. But the other side that ended up becoming Art of Animation actually sat empty and totally kind of abandoned for many years after they built all these buildings, because it was originally going to be the first half of the 20th century. It was going to be the 20s, 30s, 40s. That can't be right. Maybe the 10s, 20s, 30s, and 40s, I think, is what those buildings were going to be. And it was all going to be themed around those decades. And they ran out of money. I think they ran out of money to finish it in that theming. And so then what became Art of Animation, like I said, sat empty and abandoned for quite a long time. And then eventually, you know, this is one of the newest resorts on property. They finished it and made it Art of Animation. I actually like the Art of Animation theming better than either Pop Century or what it was going to be originally. So I think they did a nice job with that. And they made that one, only one part of the resort is single rooms, the Little Mermaid section, and they made the whole rest of it suites, big family suites. So, and I've talked about this before, but even though Art of Animation is listed as a value resort, the only part of Art of Animation that is value pricing is those Little Mermaid rooms. And they're not renovated yet like Pop Century or All Star Movies is. They're still only 2 double beds, not queens, doubles. And they're very small. And so until they renovate those, I would want to have 2 rooms like for the 4, if the 4 of us went. The rest of the resort is the Lion King section, the Finding Nemo section, and the Cars section are all big family suites. And those are priced quite expensive. They're more expensive than a moderate resort like Caribbean Beach or Port Orleans or Coronado Springs. So they're not as much as deluxe pricing, but they're more expensive than a moderate. So just keep that in mind. If you want to stay at a value resort for price and you want to stay at Art of Animation for the theming and you don't want to stay in a little tiny Little Mermaid room with double beds, you're not going to be paying value pricing. And there's the bridge. That's the Generation Gap Bridge. And this lake is called Hourglass Lake. And I think that's because it's wider on the ends and narrower in the middle. I think it also
like
goes
an
with the whole
hourglass.
time
Yeah.
theme. That was this resort originally.
Where? This? And then we're to the, is this the 60s? With the yo-yo? I think the ones with the yo-yos are the 60s.
All of those super huge, exaggerated objects, the bowling pins, the yo-yos, the 8-tracks, the Rubik's Cubes, those are actually the stairwells. So the stairs are in there and they just built these big, they're metal, big shapes around them. And you'll see in a second, they were actually repainting one of them.
Pesticide application. Keep on. So basically just stay away from the grass and
Right. Just stay away from the nature.
just look at it, but don't get it.
Yeah, don't touch it. I've been there. It's not called that anymore. We were just commenting that during the day when people are gone to the parks, it's very noisy. There's, you know, housekeeping is doing their job. They're doing some kind of, oh, they're painting the yo-yo.
Neat.
They're repainting the yo-yo.
Oh.
I think they're painting it green. I think they, well, the gray could be like a primer.
That's super cool.
Huh.
Yeah.
Oh, I can smell it. Oh my goodness. Oh. And then, so this is all 1960s. Woo, that's some. And there's a nice little seating area down there where you can sit by the bridge. And now we're gonna walk across this. Here's a map of Pop Century. And over that way,
Wow,
the main,
Pop Century's big.
the main building. Yeah, let's go look at the map a second. The main building's back there. Here, and the 50s is over that way, where the bowling pins are. And then here's the map. So we were here, and we walked around here and around here, and now we're here. So there's 90s, 80s, 70s, 60s is in the middle, the main building, and then the 50s is over there.
Almost they're going inside it too.
Oh yeah.
They cracked it open.
No, they're all like, aren't they all like that?
I don't know.
And now Maggie's standing there on the bridge. Jeez, it is noisy. There's just carts everywhere. Maggie, stay right there. I'll take your picture. Here's the funny birds Maggie was pointing out. They're sitting on the little water dam thing.
It just pooped.
Okay, and here is another Skyliner station. So when the Skyliner opens,
whenever that is, and you stay at Pop Century or Art of Animation, that's going to be an advantage because you will be able to take the Skyliner. Here's the map.
Okay, so you can see right here where I froze it. This station that they were building right here, which is why these construction walls were here and why those things were in the water. I don't know what those do. They help hold back the water from the construction. This station is the end of the line. There's actually 3 end of the lines. It dead ends at 3 places. It dead ends at this station on the Generation Gap Bridge between Pop Century Resort and Art of Animation Resort. It dead ends at Hollywood Studios, and it dead ends at Epcot. You can see that Disney's Caribbean Beach Resort, if you somehow haven't seen how the Skyliner works yet in lots of other people's videos, the Disney's Caribbean Beach Resort is kind of the central station for the Skyliner. And when you go there, you have to change Skyliners. You have to get off the one you're on and get on a different one because these are actually separate, 3 separate lines. And so if you say you're coming from Pop Century Resort, if it had been open when we were there, we'd have to, and we wanted to go to Epcot, we would have to take it to Disney's Caribbean Beach, get off, and then get on the one that goes to Epcot via the Riviera Resort. If you go back and watch any of our times that we rode on gondola systems, either at Lutsen Mountains, Minnesota, in the fall of this year of 2019, or last summer when we were in Colorado, we rode 3 different gondola systems in the mountains. Sometimes they slow down and the doors will open, but you don't have to get off. It'll just continue on, and that's what it's like at Disney's Riviera Resort. It slows down, the doors open, you can get off if you want to, but you can just stay in your gondola and continue all the way to Epcot.
Oh, here we go. So we're here, so we're at the end of the line. And then it goes to Caribbean Beach, and then you can take it to Hollywood Studios or up to the Riviera Resort, which isn't open yet, and then up to Epcot. I don't know how it does this turn.
It's Minnie and Mickey.
Yep.
And the Beast and
Beauty and Belle.
And that's the Ghost guys.
The Ghosts.
And that's Goofy.
I think there's going to be more than that.
Goofy's alone. That's
And it does. It looks like you load on one side and unload on the other side. Okay, and it's currently 11:45, so it's taken us about 15 minutes to walk from the 90s building to here. It's kind of hot right now. We were stopping a little bit. And this isn't going to be here obviously once the Skyliner station opens. I'm really wondering how that's going to handle traffic flow. Like, are there going to be lines? Is it just, I wonder if they're building like a back and forth queue in there. Like inside this, I don't know. This is pretty. Ooh, I need the car. And now we're at Art of Animation. The Little Mermaid section is over there. It is windy. That's the Little Mermaid section over there. The Cars section is over there. This in the middle is Finding Nemo. This is cool. Look at all these 3D. Well, I guess we have that on ours too.
Yeah.
Fish. I know. The kids both said they want to stay here. I mean, if we could swing it, I think a suite here would be nice.
I still feel that.
Is that just a play area? What is that?
Yeah. What is that?
Even big kids still like to play.
Cool.
Sometimes they're too big for this stuff, but they still like to try it out.
Oh, I like this. This is neat. Oh, and I'm noticing something. It's interior hallways. Guys, look, it's inside hallways. Like a hotel. Is it hot? Okay. Oh, sorry. There's Crush. Here's the pool. This pool, this is the big blue pool. Maybe we'll try to stay here sometime, guys. This would be more than a moderate, but less than a deluxe. If we stay in a suite.
What is it?
Huh?
What's this one?
It's a value, but they're suites. So they're in like the $300 range a night.
Yeah, that's not too bad. That's cool. This one seems a lot more family.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, I would agree with you. Pop Century, that is something about Pop Century when you say kids.
Yeah.
It's not kid friendly.
It's more like old.
Yeah, it's like for adults older than me, honestly. This is the big blue pool, I think, and they pipe the music in under the water. So even if you're under the water, you can hear the music.
That's so cool. Really waterproof.
This is really neat.
Look at the fish. Oh, look at the boat.
Yeah, it's made out of the fish, the silver fish.
Oh, yeah.
And there's also a Lion King section, and I don't know where that is.
It was over there. I saw it.
Do you guys want to go see the cars in Lion King section, or just okay, or just get on the bus?
Yeah, let's just get it.
Okay, maybe we can peek at it a little bit from here.
Oh, here's free.
Oh, here we go. Here's the car section.
Oh, that's cool. They're the actual cars.
If you haven't been to Disneyland in California, there's a whole Cars Land, Radiator Springs, at Disney California Adventure Park. And so this theming of this section of Art of Animation is kind of the closest thing that you would have to Radiator Springs theming at Walt Disney World on the East Coast.
I mean, we've been to Cars Land in Disneyland in California.
I
And
don't
this
even remember that much though.
This is kind of like that, you know, so
It's just a hotel.
yeah.
I remember the elements at Cars Land, but not exactly what we did.
Yeah.
Same.
Okay, let's go get the bus.
I only remember
So
Radiator Springs.
it's 11:50. So 20 minutes to get from the 90s building at Pop Century
How to lose your face.
to the main building. Go here.
That's check-in.
Oh, well, that'd be the lobby. Wouldn't that be where the buses are?
No.
Airline check-in.
Oh, airline check-in. Oh, okay. And there's a pool bar.
I saw a lot of people at the resort.
Yeah?
This is probably one of the more popular resorts.
Yeah, I think so.
Because there's more people at the pool than at Home Disney.
Yet their bus line is always empty.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Go figure. Well, think about it though. This is the same size of buildings, same number of buildings as Pop Century, but because there's suites, there's less rooms. Let's see.
The point I was making there, if you didn't understand what I was talking about, by the way, I just love seeing palm trees. I haven't seen palm trees now since we went on this trip 2 years ago. So at the time I'm making this video, by the time this video goes up, it'll be more than 2 years ago. What I was saying is that even though there's the same number and size of buildings at Art of Animation as there are at Pop Century, because most of the rooms at Art of Animation are family suites, you have probably fewer number in total of people staying at the resort. And so what I was saying is that I think we were talking about that the buses would be less busy and less packed. And there's two reasons for that. One is just fewer people. But secondly, by the time we were going here to take the bus to, I think we went to Epcot, it was almost lunchtime. So most people who were going to the park for the day would have been gone already.
See what their lobby looks like. Oh, cool.
They have an arcade too.
Yeah, I think all of them do, honey.
The layout of the lobby of Pop Century and the layout of the lobby of Art of Animation are basically identical. You've got the long check-in area there. You've got the arcade in the exact same space. Over here to the right is where the gift shop and the food court are. They're basically identical. So the only thing different about them is the decor.
It's they're like draw animation cells.
Yeah.
This is the lobby. It's got all the drawings on the wall.
Okay, I'll be right.
And then here's their... Do you guys want to eat here or at Epcot?
Epcot.
Yeah, okay. This is their food court, and now we're gonna go out to the bus, and that was our walk, and I'm glad we came over and checked this out.
We did end up then taking the bus to Epcot, and we ended up eating lunch at Chefs de France that day, and we really enjoyed it. It was a kind of a long meal experience, and I will link that video up above so you can check that out.
Safe travels, everyone.
So that was our look back at the vlog I made where we took a walk from Pop Century Resort to Art of Animation Resort at Walt Disney World. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give me a thumbs up down below. Please be sure you're subscribed. Safe travels, everyone.